Well, hey everybody, it's Paul. Welcome to the old balcony. Pleasant day here in Michigan. The sun's starting to go down and everything's cooling off just a little bit. We've been having a scorcher going. I thought I would share with you a little bit of my weekend trip. I went over to Mackinac Island on Saturday, and if you've never been to Mackinac Island, it's pretty cool. Now, because it's an island, the only way there is to take the ferry or a jet ski, or if you have your own boat. I took the ferry over, and it is pretty fun. It's a fun boat ride. You would think these big ferries are slow, but they're not at all. They're like jet powered, like a jet ski. And they give it the gas, and it's blowing a big, rooster tail out the back. And so I'm like, wow, that's pretty good. But it takes about 18 minutes. And so then you're on Mackinac Island. And on Mackinac Island, there are no motor vehicles, no cars, no motorcycles. For instance, when they take the trash up, they use a horse-drawn cart. Everything is walking, bicycles, or a horse-drawn, carriage or cart. So it's pretty cool. I didn't bring my camera for that though, but I got some cool, I thought, still shots I'm going to share while I'm talking about it. It's got great scenery there. They did a movie called Somewhere in Time, I think from like the 80s, that was shot there. Everything is very scenic. The architecture is cool. Everywhere you look, there's flowers or pretty old buildings. And so they kind of have like two parts. They have like all the shops where there's a lot of hustle and bustle, people buying stuff. I mean, any kind of souvenir, or of course what's big there is fudge, Mackinac Island fudge. There's Ribas, there's Mays, there's Mudruckers, I think there's a whole bunch of different fudge shops that's Mackinac Island is famous for their fudge. And they make it in these long tables and then cut it and sell it by the slices, I guess you'd call it. And that was pretty, you always got to get some of that. So I love fudge too, by the way. So, I'm in seventh heaven there. But then the kids went and rented some bikes, and they went all over. And then that's going to the other part of the island where it's like real, what you'd say, rustic, like nature. So there's loads of trails all over. You can bike and bike and bike. And it was hot, but I thought, man, I'm going to have to be doing a lot of walking or biking. I can't be carrying my camera and all my equipment with me or what. Now I wish I had. It wasn't as big as I thought it might be. It was manageable. So I definitely like to go back one day. If I ever hit the lottery, I'd like to get one of those Lippo battery-powered assist bikes. I think that would be awesome. So if you get a little tired, or I guess there's some brutal hills. I mean, Ben and Ryan they were out of breath from all that. I mean, they were soaked in sweat because it was hot, humid, and those hills are deadly. So, but with one of those battery bike things, that would really be cool, a little battery assist. So someday, maybe, if the OldGuy ship comes in, so to speak. So I want to share some of those photos with you and just make you aware of it. If you've never been there, it's probably worth the trip just to see. It's kind of like going back into 100 years ago or more when there weren't vehicles, and you don't hear cars going. So that's pretty cool. And then from there we went over to Silver Lake sand dunes, which are some huge sand dunes. And I'll tell you what, I about died on those dunes. I wanted to get up there and get some shots, and they are brutal. When you're walking up sand, you can imagine, just like a sandy beach that gives a lot. It's hard to walk now if you're going almost vertical, straight vertical up, and like you take a step forward, but you give 3/4 of a step back, so it's like you're constantly trying to work up and lose and work up, but it was pretty good. And so I got a few shots over there, and then we went over to Lake Michigan because, you know, you can look to the west and they always have nice sunsets there. So we went over in Lighthouse. I love lighthouses. So we went over to the Au Sable lighthouse and took some sunset pics and some. Of the lighthouse and just different artists. So it was just a 2-day thing, you know, a Saturday and a Sunday, just a quick little trip, and I really enjoyed that. You know, I said that's kind of like our dry run because we're coming up to our yearly Virginia trip here pretty soon. Got to go check out the property that we bought down there, meet up with some builders, and you know, just advance the dream of getting down there a little bit. So a little bit at a time, you know, it takes time. Every journey starts with a step though, right? So that's what the old guy's been up to. It's just hard, you know, with the whole worry about COVID does take some of the joy out of it because it's not as easy, you know, to get about. Like, for example, on the ferry, you know, they want you to wear your mask the whole time, of course. On the island, they want you to wear your mask the whole time. I think, you know, when you got away from the crowds where it's just, you know, there's no one around, I thought it was fine to take off or put the mask down and, you know, at least be able to breathe a little bit more free. But, you know, we tried to keep the mask on when there were, you know, people close by, or, you know, the kids went out swimming a little in Lake Michigan there, and so they didn't have masks on there. But it was a good time, all in all things considered. You know, I guess you can't wait for the perfect time, of course. You know, you gotta make hay while the sun shines, as they say, and that's what we try to do. I always like, it's a double-edged sword going away because I love where I live, you know. It's like I love going out in the boat and doing things on the water, and I want to make more videos of that. But we're also I'm clearing out of one storage place, going to from like a garage, like an outdoor. It's covered, but it's not climate controlled. We're going from there to a climate controlled place, so I can move more household type stuff out there, and I have to worry about freeze and thaw and getting, you know, racked with a bunch of bugs in it or whatever. So that's a big chore. There's always so many projects going on, but I always appreciate you guys stopping by for my little updates here and there, and you guys mean the world to me. I love just being able to come on here and talk about whatever I like and bring you along the way for the journey. It's awesome. So as always, thanks so much for your time. Until next time, we'll see you.